Hey everybody, it's first morning of level 2. It is Thursday and we're excited because we're going hunting this weekend. Well, actually today because I'm still not back at work, so we're heading back to Tarawera and I'm taking the boat. Gotta go pick it up from where I keep it, and I'm gonna take it across Lake Tarawera and I'm gonna go and wander around there. There's some sambar and reds in there, so hopefully fill the freezer up because we've been hammering the venison since we've been in lockdown. I'd like to thank today's sponsor of the video, which is me and my job. So thanks to me and my job for sponsoring this video and making it happen. Alright, we'll see you on the road. Amber and I just had to, we stopped in Hamilton on the way down because we had to stop and get some stuff from the warehouse. We waited. Oh, the line to get into the warehouse was long, but it didn't take long. And then Amber wanted McDonald's, and we went to McDonald's, and I waited in the line for over 30 minutes. And I've never been so angry, like legitimate anger. I had to control myself because there are so many idiots. There's people who have taken their whole families to town just because they can. It's the first day, and the kids are throwing balls around and licking the floors. I can't see how this virus doesn't come back almost straight away. It was ridiculous. I cannot wait to go hunting tomorrow. And I'm quite happy with lockdown, to be perfectly honest, because it means avoiding all these idiots. Anyway, anger, rant, done. One coffee, please. Good morning everybody. It is Friday morning now. It's about 6 o'clock. I'm far too early. It gets light at 6:30 and I forgot how long it took to get out to the lake, and so I left a bit early, but we're out here ready to go. I'm just gonna get the boat ready, get everything out, and yeah, we'll get ready to launch. I don't want to launch too much in the dark because I haven't actually gotten to where I'm going for, so there's no point in going out in the dark. So there's already heaps of boats out here. I assume they're fishing, so I hope they're fishing. We'll see how we get on. Okie dokie, we are in, boat's anchored up. It's just after 7 o'clock, so it's light enough in the bush now to actually see. So we'll get in there, probably set up camp first because I don't want to worry about it later. I want to just hunt the day. Get the tent and everything set up, maybe have a cup of coffee, and then we're going to head out for a hunt. Pretty good. Got all the gear down there. Yeah, beautiful morning out Lake Tarawera. Okie dokie, we've got camp set up. It's nice and neat, so I'll probably come back at about lunchtime, have a feed. Anyway, plan of attack is I'm going to head up into the... It sort of works, I'm at the bottom of Mount Tarawera essentially, so it moves up on a bit of a slope, not too steep until the end obviously, where it becomes a mountain. But I'm going to head up there and I'm just going to work my way up, and there's a creek just over to my left here. I'll probably follow along there and just get up to the level where I start seeing the deer sign. Depending on what I see around, I'm probably going to let out a roar just because there could be a straggler, you know. Nothing risked, nothing gained, so I'm going to give that a go. It's not going to spook them because, you know, they'll just think that it's the idiot stag next door that doesn't realise it's not the roar anymore. But I'll give that a go. And yeah, I'm just going to sneak around through the bush, and I'm going to really focus on moving slowly because in the past I've really rushed. So I'm going to take my whole pack just in case I shoot an animal. There's sambar in here. If there's a sambar, it's a lot of meat, so I'm not going to be able to carry it out whole. So I'll bone it out and chuck it in the pack. So hopefully I'm not going to be too noisy bashing around with the pack on, but get into it. I've been sneaking through the bush for about nearly 2 hours now, and there's sign, but it's not. There's a bit of pig sign. There's quite a lot of older sign. I'm still quite low down. I've got ages to go to get further up these terraces, but most of the sign's older. I did have one deer walk past me. I stopped because my phone started buzzing. Turns out I've got reception here, and I was getting a text when I start back at work. But I was reading that, and then I heard a deer walking past me, and I stopped and listened, and then it got onto this moss. It's real nice moss, and it's super quiet to walk on. Anyway, I waited about 5 minutes, and then I walked over to where I had heard it, and I saw its fresh marks right there. It was only probably about 50 meters from where I was standing. I couldn't see it obviously though, but it was walking back the exact way I'd just come, so it was only a matter of time before it would have cut my scent. So I didn't bother following it up because it was backtracking exactly where I'd come from. So I'm just going to keep pushing forward, and unfortunately I've gotten into quite thick. This is the only clear spot I've found, but some real thick manuka in that, and I don't know, I need to learn. There's kanuka as well, but I need to learn my plants a bit better. But it's pretty scrubby, and it's making it quite slow going and pretty noisy. But anyway, I'm taking a break, and I'm getting into my crocodiles. Yeah, bit of energy for the rest of the day. I'm going to keep going now. It's just 20 past 9, so I've got a few more hours to hunt, and then I'm going to go back and have lunch. Maybe put the feet up for a bit. Alright, so I'm back at camp. I just beelined down this riverbed because it was just so scrubby. I don't know if you can see there. You can see where I went up on the right hand side and back down on the left hand side, down the river, and then along the lake, and now it's time for lunch. Now, some of you may be wondering, hey Calvin, was that a different bolt handle you had on your Tika? And the answer is yes. This right here, track, yep, there you go. That is a 3D printed titanium bolt handle replacement. That's the tactical one from Mountain Gear. So Matt from over there sent me a couple of things to show you, which I'll show you some of the other stuff, some cookware. But that has been 3D printed, he's designed it himself, and the thing weighs nothing. So I took my old one off and weighed it. It was like 40 something grams. That one only weighs 14 grams. So if you're a mountain hunter, unlike me, and you like saving weight, heaps of people like are into that saving weight game real big. So look at that. They also have a muzzle brake, which I will show you when I get back to my parents' place. I'll do a bit of shooting. So it's a very frosty morning here in Waikiki Valley, and I ran out of time yesterday to show you the muzzle brake that Mountain Gear sent me. So I'm going to do it now. It's only 7 o'clock, so it's quite dark still, but hopefully the camera picks up enough of the difference. So I'm going to shoot it once. I've got a 270 running Hornady 130 grain SSTs, and they're running pretty hot. So I'm going to shoot without the brake on, show you guys the recoil. I'm going to put my suppressor on, show you the recoil, and then I'm going to put the brake on and see if we can see the difference. It's not a paid review, so I'm just going to show you guys the footage of what it's like. So okay, chuck the suppressor on. Okay, Last one, muzzle brake. Woo. I personally felt straight away that obviously massive recoil out of a 270 with nothing on the end. Suppressor made it a lot quieter, definitely reduced the recoil, but that muzzle brake, I felt there was no more recoil than really light load out of a 223, so that was awesome, but it shot sparks all back in my face. I haven't, it was also a lot of the crap on the ground, so just be aware if you're using a muzzle brake of what's around the end of your rifle, I suppose. But yeah, that was pretty cool. So I have to record that all again because I had my finger on the zoom and it zoomed all the way up to my face. Cue the clip. Alright, the other thing I have to try is the team at Radix, anyway. The team at Radix Nutrition, not sure how you say it, sent me a whole bunch of their meals from their expedition range to give a bit of a try and let you guys know what I thought. There's heaps of information there about the I suppose the good stuff in it, all the proteins, fats, carbs. It's got all the exact data there, and I suppose though for most of us we only really care if it tastes good because it's rehydrated. If it hydrates better than like the backcountry ones, for instance, I find that the meat always tastes weird or feels weird in your mouth. Anyway, I'll give it a go, let you know what I think. This is Mexican chili with organic beef. Not sponsored, I don't get any kickback from this, but because they're a good sort and they want you to try it, the link in the description, go to their website and you can order some, and for a month you'll get 15% off when you use my code TheBloke15. It's on the screen somewhere. Yeah, so try them out for yourself. I'll let you know what I think. Boom, got the new, well my new bush butt Spitfire. I was too much of a tin ass to buy a Jetboil one because this one was only $100. I might regret it, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Some guy messaged me and told me it might blow up on me because they have apparently, so that would not be nice. The other thing that Matt from Mountain Gear sent me, this wicked little titanium cup. That's the little one. There's a pot one as well that this one fits inside, and I will show you that. I don't have it here with me, but I'll show you later. And he also sent me a titanium spoon spork thing, so that's good because I had plastic ones and they always broke. So Mountain Gear is all about lightweight and innovation, so go have a look at that stuff. I'll let you know how it works. I like the little titanium cup because it's really light and small, but still big enough for a coffee. Well, the Spitfire worked me. I'm just waiting for the meal to cook. As far as reviews for a spoon and a cup, well, one holds water and the other one can stir things, so I suppose they passed that test, and the light as, so happy about that. And that spork, it's got a really long, nice handle for getting down into those meals so you don't get your hands covered in your food. I'm just boiling some lake water now because the creeks that I was planning on getting water out of are all dried up. There hasn't been water in there for a long time, so yeah, all good. While an awesome pack, the Osprey Aether was not a good idea to take for a bush stalk. I should have taken the top lid off and used it as a day bag like I'm supposed to, considering that's what it's there for, but I thought I'd be smart and take the whole thing, and it was noisy and it's not a great bush stalking pack. Great for carrying big loads and great for walking up riverbeds and that, but not great for pushing through scrub. That scrub made me miserable, almost as angry as I was in the McDonald's line yesterday. It was just, I suppose, yeah, I should update you on the hunt. I walked up to where I wanted to go, and then it just became like almost impenetrable scrub. Not quite monkey scrub impenetrable, but pretty bad. And so it was just, I couldn't make any movements without making any noise. So I decided, it was about 10:30, so I decided to come back down to camp. I did about 6 k's, I think. So it was a fairly big morning, and I came back down, and now I'm having lunch. So I'll go out again. I'll probably have a bit of a kip. I brought a book with me, have a bit of a read. have a few brews, and eat some more crocodiles, and then I'll head up for an afternoon walk. Yeah. Okay, so I finished the food. Bear in mind, once again, that I am not sponsored by Radix. They just gave me these to try. And if you go back to the beginning of the video, I told you my job sponsors me. So that was hands down the best dehydrated meal I've had. I used the right amount of water, which helped. So the consistency was awesome, heaps of flavour. I got maybe 2 bits that weren't completely rehydrated, and I'm pretty sure that was my fault for not stirring properly at the beginning. He reckons there's 3,500 kilojoules per serving of energies there. Anyway, and what's it got? 28 grams of protein, nearly 50 grams of carbohydrate, and that was the Mexican chili with organic beef, mild. I don't know if it comes in other heats, but awesome. Would recommend. I've got mixed berry breakfast to try and some other chicken one tomorrow. So yeah, tonight actually. So yeah, once again, go to the link in the description and use the bloke15 promo code and get yourself 15% off for a month. And yeah, let the guys at Radix know what you think. I'm pretty happy with it. So last time I was in Tarawera, which is many moons ago. I shot my first stag on the other side of the lake, and there was wallabies everywhere. You couldn't walk 50 meters without coming across wallabies, and it was really annoying because you can't tell if it's a deer or a wallaby because they make thumping noises and blah blah blah. Anyway, so I preempted that and bought a 22 with me with a suppressor. Now, before any of you freak out and say, that's illegal, you can't bring a rimfire into conservation land, well, I got a permit, which turns out is really easy to do. So I would, all I did was email them and said, hey, can I have a permit to shoot wallabies? And they were like, yeah, just tell us your region, sign this and send it back to us. Yeah, so do your bit for conservation. I know there's heaps of wallabies around the country, they're becoming a bit of a problem. But anyway, that was a bit of a distraction. What I found was interesting is I just walked all morning and didn't see a single wallaby. Not a single wallaby. Didn't hear one, didn't see one. So that's good, but it's also bad because now my father-in-law is not going to get any wallaby meat for his cats and dogs. But yeah, so it's good. I don't know what they're doing pest control wise, but it's working. Alright, boys and girls, it's time for Outdoors with Calvin. We're going to have a fire tonight. Well, I say we, but it's just me. I'm going to have a fire tonight, so I need to get some firewood. And I just thought I'd share with you a little bit of information. When you guys are looking for firewood, don't look on the ground down there. People are like, oh look, good firewood. This stuff would be alright. But this stuff lying down on the ground there, it's been sitting in the water, when it rains, the ground gets wet, it absorbs the water up into it, and it stays sodden. While it's dead, it's still wet. So what you want to do is you want to get standing deadfall. Not deadfall on the ground, but standing deadfall. So that looks like this. See, this is a dead trunk of a tree. This one in particular is a bad example because it's all open-ended. It's actually quite sodden there. But for instance, this one over here is good. Yeah, oh sorry, this one here. This one here is good. It's a dead tree. And because it's still standing, the firewood will be really good. So yeah, bit of a trick and a tip. Oh, as you can see, it's absolutely glassed off out there. It's just beautiful. It's 5:10 now. It's pretty much dark in the bush. I went for a walk, only about 2 k's, but I went for a walk and I sat in a lot of places and just listened, and I heard something feeding, but it was just in a place where I couldn't even begin to try and stalk in, and it was getting too dark, so that's alright. We'll try again in the morning, get up when it's light enough to see in the bush, and I'll head up, and I think I'm just going to go real slowly and try and sit and listen, and because quite often if you sit and listen you can just pick up a deer feeding, and I've snuck up on them like that in the past, so yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm an expert, but I think I can safely say that it doesn't get much better than this. Just waiting for water to boil, and I'll have some dinner. Then I think it'll be an evening of reading by the fire. What an old man. Alright, so I've been hunting for the last hour and a half, and I've had enough now. This bush is just, like, I've made it nowhere. I've made it, I think, 1.5 k's I've walked around, and that's not even like 400 meters from the lake edge. It's just, you see here, this is an open area, but it's just full of deadfall. I don't know what caused all of this, all these trees to come down. I don't know if it's storm damage or if they were poisoned, or I don't know, but it's really hard work walking around and I'm making no progress. There's barely any sign down here. It's a really old sign, and all the sign I've seen has been in these dried up stream beds, but it's just moving through. There's nothing hanging around, and I thought I'd try and get to a higher elevation to see if the deer were living higher, but you just can't get up there. The bush is actually, like, you can't get through it. It's that much tea tree and bush lawyer and that. It's horrendous. So I am going to wrap it up there probably. I'm going to head back down to camp, pack up, jump in the boat, head across to the boat ramp, load up. We've got a family reunion to get to, got a big bonfire tonight, and then I'll probably pack up again on Monday and hopefully get a deer in my the spot that I shot a deer earlier in the year. Saw that big stag by the old house, so I'll include that in this video if I shoot something. So it's a bit of a shame, but oh well, that's what it's like sometimes. Yeah, so I had some more of those Radix meals. Last night's dinner was awesome with some curry. Once again, it was just like, you just wanted it not to end. And then this morning I had this mixed berry breakfast, and you could tell it was really good. It had heaps of nuts and banana and all sorts of stuff in it, but berries and stuff aren't really my thing, so, but still really good. I've been a wee bit lazy with videoing today. It's another day. It's when did I last video? It was Saturday. It's now Monday. It's about 9:30. Actually it's closer to 10. I was up at daybreak this morning and I went into my spot from, if you wind back earlier in the year, when I roared in that stag and I shot the hind. I'm up in there again. I've spooked one deer. I never even saw it. It was upwind of me. I was coming across a face. It was quite tricky because if you're too high up the face, you can't see down through the bush. But if you're obviously halfway up it, your wind can be going either way. So wind was coming up the face and spooked a deer above me, which is a shame. But I'm going to head down towards where I shot that stag. Where I saw that stag and shot the hind. And I'm going to see if there's anything in that area, and then I'll call it quits. I told Amber I'd be out by lunchtime, so might be out here again tomorrow morning because the freezer is not looking too flash. But yeah, I was hoping the video would be a bit more exciting, but I had a good feeling about this morning. There's heaps of deer sign around here compared to where I was at Tarawera on Saturday. There's oodles and oodles of deer sign, but haven't bumped into anything yet. And heaps of pig sign too. Also haven't seen any pigs. Alright. Well, that was rather embarrassing. I just spent like 20 minutes sneaking up on a bird that I thought was a pig rustling through the leaves. It's just a very excited blackbird. So that's disappointing. The other thing that was a bit disappointing this morning was usually I've never seen any other tracks in here because I use a private access way to enter the conservation land, but there is a public access a few k's down the road, quite a far way away. And I was walking through one of the clearings that I always go through, and there was 2 Woodstock cans lying in the middle of it, which that made me annoyed already because people are leaving rubbish around. But then I saw that pink ribbon that gets tied in trees to mark tracks, which I always thought was maybe, I don't know if Doc does it or people who are doing like the tree control and stuff, cutting down the wildlings. But anyway, I followed it, and somebody's cut like it seems like a real big track, and it leads off back towards the road, which I didn't follow it because I don't know where it ends up yet, but it's New pink ribbon tied everywhere, and wood stock cans littered all along the track, so that was a real shame, but I'll follow that track eventually and figure out where it comes from. It's just, yeah, it's conservation lands, anybody can be here, I don't mind that. Well, it's a bit annoying because I thought I was the only one that hunted here, so, but obviously I've got no right to be annoyed about it, but the littering annoys me, so oh well. I'm gonna crack into some crocodiles now to give me some energy. Well, I made it back to the car. That's probably it for hunting for this episode. Just a quick bit of a spiel on that bolt handle. If you're looking at putting it on your bush hunting rifle for stalking, I would probably go with a different one. I've got the let's see, I've got that one there. It's a the tactical one, which would be good on a long range rifle, or I don't know, whatever else sort of rifle you want to build. But if I was you and I was going to use it for bush stalking, I'd get one of the ones that are shaped more like the traditional Tikka bolt handle, just because that one I found catches a little bit on the scrub. But that's the only thing I can fault with it. It's a pretty cool design, makes the rifle look pretty cool, and I've seen one that's been Cerakoted with the rest of the rifle and it looks mint. So yeah, go have a look. The link to Matt's website, Mountain Gear, will be in the description. Thank you for watching my video. Hopefully next time we get out we'll shoot a deer, but you know what it's like, you can't always win. Found that whoever's been in there cutting that track that I was talking about, they've cut it all the way back down to where I'm going, and it's an easier track. I didn't see it in the dark this morning, so kind of good because they've cut a track for me that I can use, but at the same time it's a bit disappointing. I didn't know there were many people going in there, but you get that on the big jobs. Alright, catch you next time. There we go, not a complete waste of time. We harvested this silly little plonker.